Hey Facebook, 43. Do you know it feels like it's slowing down. I'm still getting through quite a few of these. Sorry about me looking so knackered. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to turn the brightness of this computer down. Yeah, I've been working quite hard over the past few days. So what I'm talking about today is when should you listen to friends and family? You know, we all know family members and friends that have got an opinion on what we're doing and the choices and decisions we make, and a lot of the time that can really annoy us. Like when somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, what are you doing that for? You shouldn't do that way. You should do it this way." And when should you listen to wise people and when should you not? Well, I think that comes from the heart, and that comes from experience, and it comes from understanding what you want to do in life. People will give you advice on where they believe you should be, but at the end of the day, it comes down to where you want to be in life. Not where your mum or your dad or your nan or your granddad wants you to be. What they want you to do in life. Because at the end of the day, like when it comes down to you growing up and leaving home and going on your own path and doing your own things, the only thing that's going to matter then is how you feel. How you feel, the things you've done, the things you get up to. And it's important to listen to people's advice who have had experience, but it's also important to listen to yourself and what you want to do and how you enjoy. I was told recently by a couple of people who I still respect to this day and always will. We've been through a lot, the pair of them and me. And they sat there and they said, well, we're worried about you. And if they do watch this, this is no disrespect. I'm not disrespecting you. I listened to what you said. We might have been a little bit drunk at the time, but I listened to what you said and I took it on board and understood it. And you said, obviously, you're worried about me and worried about the videos I was doing. And my response was that I'm doing these for the people that need it, the people that appreciate it, the people that understand. It gives them a bit of clarity. It helps them see things a bit differently. And it's important to look after yourself. It's important to know that you matter in this world. It's important to know that you've got to pursue your own dreams. You've got to pursue what you've got to do. But at the same time, you've got to do your own thing. And that didn't come out exactly how I wanted it to. People will say one thing to you, but if you know something's right and you're getting experience from something, you're getting enjoyment and fulfillment out of doing something, then go ahead and do it. Because it doesn't matter whatever anybody else says. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I've had people message me lovely messages about these videos that I do, and I'll never stop doing them. Because, I know that this is something the world needs. I know that it's, for the people who are ready to listen, it's there for them. Again, that's no disrespect. But you can't always go on the opinions of others. And, they said, well, I did that one time and it went this way for me. Don't do it. Because a lot of factors come into it. It's not just about one or two things here and there. It's actually hundreds of different things. It's things that you can't really contemplate. It's things that you don't know that are coming. So what might have affected one person isn't going to affect the other person. A massive family tragedy might have come along, or money issues might have come along. Give you an example. Let's just say, I don't know, somebody was about to start a business, and they're like, I really want to do this. This is something I love. And all of a sudden, this thing comes, their car breaks down and all this money has to go out. And then, there's family problems. Imagine you're in America and all these health bills come up. And all these things stop them from achieving it. And all that fear built up, all that fear, that rejection, that horrible, feeling of failing filled them up and stop them from ever trying it again. But we're going to fail before we succeed, and that's how it is. You got to learn from things. It's like anything, when you've wanted to do something so badly, achieve, I don't know, anything in life, it's extremely hard. And the only time you feel amazing is when you've put all of the effort in, all of the work in to make it a reality. Like I'm not where I want to be at the minute, and there are things here and there that trigger you off and you want to do this and that. But when you reach it and when you get it, I have visions every day of how it's going to make me feel. And I cling on to that. And I hold that close to my heart. And that's why when people have said to me in the past, I think you should do this now, or what about this? And it doesn't matter because you're not in my head. You don't know, you can't control what I feel. And I know what I'm going to feel about that, and I know where I'm going. And to relate this to everybody, when you're doing something in life, with your work and your job and things like that, and you turn around and you might throw this suggestion that I want to quit my job and do something different. Oh, why are you doing that? It's you've got a well-paid job. You've got good hours, you've got this, you've got that, and then always you think you start to conflict in your own head because you're listening to what other people think, what other people say to you. And it's not always right. That's not always right, because sometimes you have to take a couple of steps backwards for a few more doors to open up, and then you go down new avenues. You see, because life isn't always about moving forwards. Very rarely it's about moving backwards. And I always encourage people that when you're unhappy in a place or a situation, then change it. That's how I've always lived my life, and it's served me well so far. It's served me pretty good. If I'm unhappy about a situation, if I'm unhappy about where I am, or where I feel my life is heading towards, then I'll change it. I was a prison officer for a while. You can imagine, I changed it. I was building engines, I changed it. I was personal trainer, I changed it. I was working in home base, I changed it. You just got to keep on changing. And it doesn't matter. It could be like you're in a job where you want to be and you think this is where I want to be in the future, but you have to change around, maybe move somewhere else, maybe do this and do this job before you get somewhere else, before you then reach what you have to do. But don't be afraid of doing that. Don't be afraid of putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid of doing something different, and listen to your gut feeling, because your gut feeling is always right. There will be people that give you fantastic advice, don't get me wrong. I'm sat here preaching it. I'm sat here trying to give you the advice, and I'm telling you not to listen. I'm not telling you not always to listen, but take bits and pieces that are necessary. Like for instance, I was told, the other day that there are times when I can't relate to people because I haven't been in their situation. They might have lived in a terrible home, in a terrible area, or had experience with them, and that's right. I can't relate to that. But I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to prove to you that my life has been as bad as yours. I'm trying to prove to you that through tough experiences, things turn out okay. They turn out all right. You get better. You get through it. You become happy. I wouldn't want to experience some of the things people have experienced and I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation either, because then how can I help people if I'm not happy myself? You saw the videos over a few weeks. It was very, very low. And, I'll always hold the utmost love and respect for the people that have been through hell, because you're the strongest of us. To have gone through the worst kinds of pains and come out on the other side, you're the strongest of us. And, those are the kind of people that I want to voice this stuff. I want you to voice it. I want you to tell people. I want you to get your story out there. Don't hold it close to your chest so much. Don't hide it away from the world, because those are the kind of things that inspire people to make a change in their lives. So I'm not trying to be the kind of guy that is going out with all of those bad experiences, because I know there's a lot of people that have been through hell, and my heart goes out to you. I'm talking, selfishly, but my heart goes out to you, and I want people to know that we're all always here for each other. We just don't always know it, So that's just my take from tonight. I hope people enjoyed it, and just go from there. Hold yourselves in higher regards than opinions that make you feel crap. If something makes you feel crap, then choose whether you're going to listen to it or not. But that's my pitch. I'll be back again tomorrow doing another video. Thanks so much for the love. Have a great evening, guys, and see you later.